Hello everyone. Hello everyone. It's the end. The end of Marcus Emblem has finally come. And for this final part, we're going to be showing off the capabilities of every unit that has accompanied Marcus in this difficult journey. One of them is going to be Lilina. I think Lilina is going to have a good time tanking some wyverns with her caliber on that forest. And another one of them is going to be whoever wants to... I mean, it doesn't get to do a lot normally, so might as well. I do realize that for this chapter I didn't bring anyone to recruit Karel with. It shouldn't matter. Shouldn't. It could. If I end up fucking things up, but okay. I just felt like I didn't have the open space to bring Fear. So yeah, like Yodel was more important for like Saint Staff utility. I know that the Saint Staff can be used by Clarine, but I want someone to restore Clarine in case she gets like berserked or whatever. And the Saint Staff can act as a restore, in case you didn't know. It not only heals everyone, it also restores the status of everyone. Okay, here... Oh, that's unfortunate. That's... that's about the start. And yeah, also, like, Astol might not be crazy, but he's good for the supports. For all that is worth, and HP and luck, okay. Could be better. 15 hit on a long ballista. The other guy then... Yeah, the other guy also reaches. Okay. Thankfully the other one had like a lot worse hit. Maybe I expected a bit more from Lilina here. Maybe I expected a little bit more avoid. I should have given her a... an elixir or something, probably, but now there's nothing to do. Now here I would love to dodge. It's a 30. Okay. We know that 30s on dark magic hit always. We got hit by like every dark magic hit on the last chapter except for one. I guess you take this kill pretty accurately, then I rescue you out and I start with the rest. The mana kits in here are normally very scary to face. Yes they are. They can actually handle effective weaponry. Sue might be... Okay, wow, yeah. It's just because the Wormslayer aren't... They aren't holy weapons, right? So they don't hit as hard. They are good, but not that good. So yeah, here you can see the difference. The Mjolnir just casually one runs. Okay, dodging a little bit here. Wormslayer takes care of it. I think the other guy is an Axe River. I did check the map a little bit before starting. Okay, two of them go to the right, you go to the south. We dodge. Good. That was a decently high hit with the Axe River. The Axe River is a pretty accurate weapon. And then, well, all the rivers are, really. The Killer, slightly dangerous, but the Wormslayer kills. Even through weapon disadvantage against a pretty light weapon, we kill here. That was a promoted killer lance, by the way. Scary as hell. Okay, still avoiding the things. Here you can get double hit by a spear and a steel lance. Okay, one down. This was the most dangerous one, you could say, because he was a bit difficult to access to. I will take a ballista shot, but Klein can survive one ballista shot. I should really went to the storage, deposit the steel lance. I don't know why you have a steel lance. Take the Delphi shield, then rescue you out of here. Okay. I think a good combination here could be I take the kill with the Sword River for accuracy, and then I switch into the hand axe, and we do like a double hand axe line, right? Of course the killer is better, but we want to really counter the spears, so there's that. Take the Worm Slayer briefly, and then Lance, yeah, Lance can do enough against the Axe River because of the double weapon advantage. Actually gets hit, and is going to get hit by the ballista, but that's okay. And then Marcus simply goes here, and with all the support, just goes for 3 hits of the Brave Axe. No possibility of getting countered. He has a good deal. Yeah, arrows are going to rain on us, but that's fine with me. I mean, there's no way that Lance dies to a ballista. So still Lance. Okay, still Lance goes here, then yeah. Equipping the hand axe was the right idea, because now this guy can only go for the spear. Killer Ballista actually has some critical on Klein, and the damage is higher than I thought. Okay, not my day in terms of RNG. At least I get that critical, but I'm getting hit by a lot of low hits. This physic is scary, but not as much as the druid is standing on top, right? I do realize this guy is coming, but he doesn't have anything dangerous. He just has a mend. I mean, he hits like a truck, but the important thing are these: the Berserk and the double sleep. Yeah, I need range, so I'm going to use the killer, obviously. In this case, I can't really hold back. 2 uses of the killer left. A bit low, but we are making good use of them, so yeah, it's okay. Then you're outside of that. Really only the critical that scares me. As long as Fi is close, the killer is supposed to do this easily. I don't know if I should visit the village. Like, what do you get if you visit the village? And okay, more speed. Not going to say no to that. Not that we need it a lot anymore, but what happens if you don't have? Village has no one who would wish to fight. Please leave us in peace. And it's open, but it doesn't give you anything. I sort of like remembered getting an elixir. I don't know where I imagined that, but okay. Oh, the long ballista reaches? Wow, then this is a bit of a problematic position. Well, she has very good dodge. I guess getting hit by everything is never going to happen. Or should never happen. Okay, just take care of Mr. Nosferatu. I mean, I have the high critical on the killer. Yeah. It's that simple. High crit weapons against Nosferatus are a very good deal, actually. I think Sue actually works pretty well there. I could break this, because I have another killer, right? I said I don't have another one, but I have one with 7 uses on Klein. And it's not like I'm going to be using... Yeah, let's go. I'll try my chances at a crit against this guy. Better than giving it to Marcus. Okay. Doesn't matter. I can use... I think Gonzalez is just fine. Getting in here with... taking this kill with a hand axe potentially? Yeah. And then he counters the javelin coming from above. Can go for the critical with the counter, but I think going for the silver is the right idea. If this was an Nosferatu, I would go for the critical. Yeah. It's a 30% with dark magic, so we just get hit. It's how it works. Okay, so Gonzalez, are you okay? I mean, they are more accurate against you than against other characters because of your low luck, mostly, not because you have low speed. Your speed is actually higher than Marcus, because you're at 26, and the cap for Paladin is 25, so the cap is benefiting you there, but it doesn't matter. You are tanky enough and you are dodgy enough against this guy to, yes, work. So, no more wyverns there, a soul mana kit in there, one arrow left, I think Gonzalez here just wants to Killer Axe. The enemies are strong, I just never feel threatened. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I already have a strong team by this point, or just that the last chapters have been so horrible that anything would feel good in comparison. But yeah, this guy doesn't have ballista, this one doesn't, so now there's only this long ballista. You know what, I don't feel bad about this at all. I think Wendy is actually going to be... I've checked that Wendy is pretty decent at dealing with enemies, with enemy mana kits. We have the Malte to, you know, do a pretty hard counter, and I can just provide a good amount of support. Alright, mana kit, no critical. That's the important part. The damage is always too strong to reliably dodge. I probably double back, so Wendy's just casually taking this kill. Okay, Malte down to 11 uses. It's not great. You can actually break the holy weapons in here, okay? It's just you normally don't want to. The counter doesn't actually kill. In fact, because you're in range of that, you might get physic. No, you're out of physic. Physic is here, because that's also sleep, sort of. Yeah, you can take that one. Sue can weaken the other. If I'm wrong somehow, then actually I might dance Orpha to put her to the left of Sue. That way I'm getting both the support building. 15 speed is very cool, very cool. Let's say the average mana kit can now probably get doubled. Yeah, I'm just weakening because Sue is pretty high level. I'm not interested in actually like taking kills. And my main point here is that my dancer can move like just 2 squares. Yeah, they are approaching. I suspected it. The 10% sleep is going on Fa. Actually using up the sleep here. Okay. Is the other guy also going to go for Fa? Yes, okay. I don't know what I did wrong exactly in Sakae for the enemies to be targeting other people other than Fa, but apparently I got the hang of it at the last minute. Can't be bothered to give a fuck at this point. Gonzalez should be able to clear. Gonzalez clears. Trust. Axe River is first, hit is third. With an Axe River. Come on, and gets hit. And now watch for the guys with actual weapon disadvantage. There's the Killer Lance that does 45 damage. Okay, forget what I said. Please don't kill me. Please don't. This is pretty accurate. Okay. Thankfully they blocked themselves. I just didn't expect to get greeted by a killer. Also, the sleep goes on Gonzalez. Obviously it will go on Gonzalez. That's just stupid of me, sorry. Okay, well, I sort of need to kind of have to restore you, right? To Sue. Wait, Sue can go for you. Because you're promoted, she doesn't take the kill. Exactly. But I can take it myself now. With like someone that can go in there. Oh, it's a Roy kill. If I can just get Sue out of the way. Yeah. Absolutely. Then it's a Roy kill. Yeah. Okay. Works like a charm. Perfect. Is it a level? Yes. Exactly a level too. A bit of defense. Not going to say no to that. Yeah, we can just advance. As long as we keep Yodel okay, we can advance no problem. Why is that? Because Yodel is the guy that has the Saint's stuff. So if I get slept and like berserked on 3 different characters, I did know that Lilina was in berserk range. It's just logical considering where the sleep hits. I can restore everyone at the same time. I actually get hit by a 9% sleep. So yeah, this is an optimal use of the Holy Maiden. Absolutely optimal. Here it is. Not even going to think about this one. I have 3 uses. With this, the sleep is almost completely burned out, and I can just approach. Do your worst. Okay, show me the Berserk on Fa. Well, first of all, they should target Fa, so I might not even have to use the Holy Maiden. Yeah, they do target Fa. Do they just get a bit more hit when they are closer? This would be important to know for myself. And does that mean that one of the... Okay, seems like all of you are out. You have a blue gem. I'm not going to risk my life for that. And you're the Berserk guy. Okay. I don't remember when they decide to start moving. Let's know that they can be quite dangerous when they do. Give me back that. I'm going to check damages. And when I see that this is 32, I'm going to do something. Oh, wow. Okay. Get the fuck out. I don't even need Marcus for this. I can just double with a bolting. Alright. Well, then I'm going to do that. I don't think the bolting is that important to have in the next one. I can keep one use. And Marcus, yes. Is he willing to just go in there? I think he is because I have a rescue, right? So if I get hit by the Nosferatu now, then I might pull out. Okay, of course I get hit because it's a 30. And those are just like 100 on me. I still think I could be okay. A well-placed dance might give a character enough movement to get into there, but... Oh, there's also you, by the way. This one is a very classical pick for the... You know, the Berserk Manakid thing. Burn will not lose. Even if I fall, Burn will rise back up and fight again. Okay, that's one use of bolting. We don't want her running out of boltings. Important. And they are moving around, but they can't stop what's coming. They literally can't. Even if all of them try to surround, they either suicide because they attack close, or I can loop around. I can't. Why? Oh, this is big. Okay. Is actually okay. It's okay taking all the magical attacks. So even if you move, I mean, you prefer going for Marcus. Maybe I should have just backed out with Marcus and let Fa. Well, it doesn't matter. That opens the path to Brunia, which is what I wanted to see. Now I just have to kill Brunia while she's holding the thing. Sorry to do it so cowardly, but come on, it has its own charm. Going for these shitty attacks, right? I feel like it does, at least. So we start with this. Yeah, I'm just going to rush them, and I'm going to actually clear the enemies now. Or maybe not. Maybe that's a bit too much. Maybe Sue is the only one that can afford to stay in here. Yeah, you know what I should do instead? I should take care of you. Because if I take care of you, I can just approach with Fa. Approaching with Fa means Sue support. Yeah, just here. We just don't want Brunia running out of boltings because then she equips Fimbulveter, and Fimbulveter in this game, because it's enemy only, it's actually like incredibly broken, no drawbacks, light as fuck, and so on. So we need to avoid that. Okay, you go for Sue. I mean, I understand that your hit is pretty good, apparently good enough to get me, and now Sue is in range to get killed. So don't let that happen. That's a 37. Sue is like 5%. Come on, don't hit me with a 5. Okay. I swear I just saw that connecting for a moment. One enemy is weakened. Don't you prefer like doing a physic instead of attacking? No. You go for the kill. It's a 7%. Okay. Okay. And go. Ooh. Okay. Even weakens an enemy for Fa to kill if she really wants. I also get 1 point of strength out of that. Yeah, she really wants. She really wants to. Okay. That's a great level with a bit more speed. Running really low on uses now. We are down to 10. So I definitely stop now. I can provide support there. That's all I need. Take and release. No! Fuck. Well, I just lost the Roy support that was going to give you a bit more attack. Let's just go for the crit here. Come on. We are not doing very well here. Okay, fuck it. I mean, it's not like we're going to use this that much. We might not even use it at all, so... Also, I guess I should try this, right? Okay, the hit is horrible, but I could try it on you. If I sleep you, that's kind of clear. Yeah. Okay, sleeping you is like a very good idea. Then, Marcus, yes, I kind of need you to take the kill here, okay? Maybe I should have given a better weapon to you or something. Accuracy is good there. Yeah, the rescue drop in Marcus isn't working. I can also go for this. I'll start with Marcus, and then, if needed, I will go for the bolting. Just get a crit. Marcus, just get 1 crit. Okay, no. But at least he hits. So I can now bet on the 60 with double support from Lilina. And this could take the kill? Okay. It's satisfying in its own way. It's satisfying. Really makes you think, even when capping supports on like every possible way, units have some trouble defeating the enemies in this game because they are so fucking strong. Alright, there goes the kill. So, very close to a level. Well, I'm going to do this just because I can. I have to think about... Well, actually, Yodel was the one to do it. I have to think about what to hammer. Right? Simply the Durandal. The Durandal is incredibly powerful and, you know, those 6 uses turning into 20 might save my ass someday, because it just has a lot of attack with the +5 attack and everything, so... Did I just hammer on the Killer Lance? No, he just has the Killer Lance equipped. Right, I hammered on the Durandal. That was... Oof. Got scared there for a moment. Yeah, so I think hammering the Durandal is the right idea. I could go for that kill or whatever. I don't care. I think we are doing alright. So we're just going to get out of here and into the Dragon Temple for the final stretch of this game. Conquer. I do realize I could have bought more Worm Slayers. I don't think they are necessary. I have a good amount of uses on the ones I have. Dick probably won't be requiring the Dragon Slayer because I'm going to give to him the full use Durandal. And then who else can use Worm Slayer, really? I think they could be decent on Tate, I guess, if I really need to. But yeah. The Ghost of Burn. I was saying a lot of shit about this chapter and how it's not difficult at all, and then at the end it got a bit complicated because I was just fucking around, I was just having fun. But I do think, like, with this powerful of an army and with some of my like more overkill units, you can completely trivialize the Ghost of Burn. If you want to play it a bit slow, you just wait for the Ballista, then you wait for the Sleep and Berserk, like for them to completely run out. Then you go in, you wait for the Bolting to completely run out, and you'll have to fight a slightly more difficult Brunia because she counters and she has a bit more avoid, but that's about it. It's not a big deal. I've done it before, and I'm sure I would do it again in the future, like in an Iron Man where you don't really want to risk anything and you don't have the possibility of getting back to that point just a reset away. So it's time to go into the truth of the legend. Exceptionally, I will do the picking units today here with you. Well, I've been using a lot of people during this run. Some of them died even. And if I could, I would bring every last one of them to the final map. Because the contributions for some characters, some of the most meme-worthy characters, like for example Sis. Sis ended up being like a decent unit that could even kill some wyverns on his own. And yet I'm not going to bring him. Douglas was very helpful at tanking in the loss of Sakai, and yet I'm not going to bring him. Yodel in this last map and during chapter 21 also had his contributions, but I'm not going to bring him. Marcus. The series is called Marcus Emblem for a reason. Merlinus. If the series wasn't called Marcus Emblem, at this rate it would be called Merlin's Emblem. One experience because he once dodged one attack and then survived it. Aside from that, awful stats, awful movement. Worst unit in the game, probably. Can do some things in terms of utility. The deploy is more worth it than an untrained Wendy or Sophia or whatever. But this unit is trash. Why have I been deploying him on every chapter? I just felt it was funny. Because he was sort of Marcus's friend in FE7, so I thought, let's just continue that into FE6. Dick. Not surprising here. One of the best units, very, very positively surprised with Dick in this run. No stat boosters, and yet like very close to capping speed, very consistent strength, tanky, dodgy, high chance of criticals, good support pool because he supports Clarin and Ruther, very good partners. I do think his support with Clarin is a bit too slow for me to repeat in future runs, and yeah, in some aspects I still prefer Echidna because I love Armad's Echidna, but very positively surprised. Sue. This is a unit that, while she turned out amazing, I feel like I didn't give her enough attention. She just showed me how good she could be, and yet I didn't give her the highest possible investment. Two possible investments you can do on Sue. One is energy drops, energy rings in this case. Obviously I wasn't allowed to do that because they go on Marcus. Second was better supports. Passing support on Dayan, on Shin, they didn't really matter. Then on Fa here at the very end to try and salvage a little bit, but I have to use Sue again in the future. Lilina, I'm satisfied with. This is the most investment I've done on Lilina in a while, maybe ever, and well, what a monster unit, what a one-shot wonder. I feel like I gave a lot to Wendy. Aside from stat boosters, I don't think I would have given her stat boosters in any other run because I just want to see her natural results. And this is Wendy at level 10 promoted. And as you can see, she's good. But I don't think she's much better than Dick. Like, speed is an overkill, and it's never going to get overkill because of the cap. The defense can get very good, but the base is too bad and the promo bonus not high enough to get her there in time. With Wendy, it's always about when and never about it's always about when and never about like if. Because yeah, when she reaches this level, but is she even going to get there in time? If you want to do like a level 20 promo to get the maximum amount of experience? And the answer is not really. I'm still going to bring her. I think she was one of the mascot units of this run. And I don't plan to use her a lot in the future. And I do think if you're going to train Wendy, might as well bring her to the endgame. Gonzalez is a unit I was not so confident about, and yet it turned out amazing. Didn't level a single point of resistance. He min-maxed his stats like crazy. My sole memory of training Gonzalez didn't get him with almost 20 defense. I feel like I got very lucky there. I don't know if that's average. I don't know if I just got lucky, but well, whatever. Also, Armad's user. If I didn't have him, I would have to rely on Marcus to use the Armads. I think a good Armad's user can be helpful. Same for Lilina, like, aside from her being very good, 4-Blaze. I'm going to bring Tate. And I guess that's it, right? I'm going to bring Tate. So I guess I have to justify some of the units I've used the most. Klein, a bit of a disappointment. I don't know if it was the investment or whatever. He's completely outclassed by Sue. The main utility for Klein in the last chapter is to bring the Miorgre, use the Miorgre. And I just don't think he is needed here. Astol, I could bring him for Wendy support or something, but we already have the Wendy Lilina support. That's helpful enough. There's not a lot of things to steal, only the elixirs, and we're doing good in that front. So yeah, I could bring my dancer, always an option. I think it's a bit boring. I already brought my dancer the previous time I played. I brought Elfin. Lance, similar to Astol, except he can do something. I'm not going to bring him solely to give Marcus the support. It does hurt me a little bit that I missed on the A support for Marcus both in FE7 and FE6. Because in FE7 it was... what's her name? It's not Eleonora. It's similar to Eleonora. I just forgot her name. Eleonora? Eleanora? Is that her name? You know, the girl that... I think it's Eleanora, or whatever, the female paladin. I can't remember her name exactly, I think it's Eleanora. Yeah, I didn't bring her to the endgame of FE7 because I felt like she hadn't been that good. Same for Lance, really. It's been a bit of a disappointment. 11 strength is just not okay, man. And I didn't promote you that early. Defense is also pretty bad. I know you can do better, so we'll find the run for you. And finally, probably the unit that hurts the most to leave behind is Clary. You can see she's level 16. 16, almost 17. She has been incredibly helpful with her support with Dick. She has given me a lot in terms of healing, in terms of support, rescue dropping utility, and I do realize that if I leave her as, in here and I don't bring her into the temple, Lilina will be my only healer, and then I don't have physics or anything. But I think Tate deserves the spot, because Tate is a weirder unit, and I don't use Tate as much, and I'm just happy to have brought her so far, so I'm going to bring Tate. So I'll do some inventory work right now, obviously, but this is going to be the final team. Alright, the truth of the legend. This is a weird chapter. Saying this is a weird chapter doesn't even begin to cover it. You have to get Roy to the thrones as soon as possible, which is already like one of the weirdest objectives in the series, like having to conquer different thrones. But you also have to kill so many mannequins that it renders normal combat basically ineffective, right? So okay, Roy can do pretty well against one guy. I want to be a bit stingy with my Worm Slayers just in case. Then we're going to drop Wendy there. I'm a bit concerned about the movement of my units. It's something that always happens to me in this map. My units have good enough movement to reach places, but they tend to pile together, so they don't actually do anything. Okay. Steel Sword, can I get like a cool critical? No, no fire. No fire. Yeah, he can kill the one that is in the boss, and the boss can go to Sue. I do realize I'm a bit low on healers. Like, yeah, leaving Clarin aside is a bit bad for me because I can't use the Four Blaze as much, because Lilina has to be on healer duty. But it should be okay, especially with that level. So Lilina can absolutely go for a Roy heal on the next turn. Okay. Poetic, even. The three, sons and daughters of the lords in FE7 here together. Ah, that's not so poetic. Thankfully, I think I have you in range. And if not, this guy doesn't have range, so he doesn't. You're rich? Yes, you do. Well, this is the Wendy boss kill. Can I do a boss kill with every character I have? I mean, I literally can't. First of all, because I realized during preparations that while I really wanted to bring Tate in here, and I'm not going to regret my decision, Tate isn't going to be able to do much. She can rescue, she can drop, but she only has A rank and D rank in swords. So she can't use the Worm Slayer, she can't use the... She can actually rescue Dick, which is pretty good. But she can't use the Worm Slayer, she can't use the Malte. She doesn't have effective damage, and in this chapter that basically means she doesn't do damage. So it's just Roy conquers. Roy conquers all. Meaning this. Meaning this. Yeah. Meaning Durandal counter on you. Maybe this was supposed to be done by like a unit with a bit more range, but it works. I don't particularly care. Ooh, already? Okay. Elena doesn't enjoy that. Yeah, Durandal doesn't actually go for the one shot at all. I guess that's more of a root her theme because of the critical, and the Worm Slayer can actually like run a bit low and depend too much on the critical. Durandal might not be as great as I imagine. I have one elixir, so I can go for this. And I have... what? Does Roy have enough movement? I think he does. If I go here... I think Roy can reach the throne from there. I just need a unit to kill the boss with, which should probably be you. Lilina can outrun Mana Kids, so eventually she'll be safe. Because yes, the situation right now isn't the best for her. At least I'm very lucky to see there's no critical on Dick. Meaning he has enough luck to not get critted by Mana Kids ever. I was a bit scared that there might be a bit of critical and then I can't avoid it because I don't have Clarina around. Although to be fair, I don't think the Thunder, like double Thunder support, provides anything there. Marcus, of course, doesn't get critted because his luck is one of the highest. Actually doesn't take the kill. This guy had 67 HP, apparently. That might be the only kill you get to have, so Tate, I get you to do something. Okay, Tate took a kill without effective weaponry. Those are fits. Fits. That skill is absolutely essential for criticals, guys. She's actually optimizing. She's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy unit. Wouldn't believe it. I maybe wanted to get Fa... No, Fa isn't nowhere near close enough. Wow. Great, yo. Great. Yes, great. Yes, great. Wow, okay. Do you get killed? Fuck it then. I really want to conquer the throne, so... Okay. If you don't get killed, that's fine in my book. That's fine. And you don't reach. Good. Anything dangerous here? Not close enough. Actually, because I don't want to rush that much and my healer has been left behind and she has no range, I might just want to go for something like this with Marcus. This guy... yeah, he's aggressive. Okay. Then... so it's actually very good against the normal guys. She has not that accurate against others because she doesn't have support, she doesn't have anything. But Miorgre is incredibly good against mana kills that aren't bosses. And because she didn't hit a lot, she still has 11 uses, so I can get Lily another. Nice. And I could even rescue... who wants to rescue more? I guess Fa is potentially more fragile. Wendy... I feel like Wendy can close... Wendy has already killed the boss. That's enough. From now on, she can just be dedicated to killing enemies back. This was sort of the Dick room. So who wants to take care of the next room? This can be the Royal Market room. Not even joking. Can we do this, Merlins? Ooh, an elixir even. How generous. And you're going to take out the other Worm Slayer. And I'm going to trade you Worm Slayer and elixir. Yeah. don't have to go for the overkill Durandal. I can try the Worm Slayer, weaken a little bit, and then give the kill to someone else. You don't want to approach that much, so I would rather approach as much as possible. And you go there. Perfect. That works, I think. Here the counter from Roy is like very solid. No critical yet. I want to see the critical animation, so I'll keep doing this until I get it. Or run out of uses. Actually, it's better if we don't run out of uses before the next chapter. I should always remember that. I still should have like 12 uses also. And yeah, this doesn't kill. Meaning I can give the kill to someone else, I guess. It's not a priority. It's just cool to save some uses of Durandal. Just in case. It's also good sometimes to not kill everyone. Yeah, quickly take you out with the silver, so that I'm not using up anything too valuable. The support range from Roy is also appropriate. I'm pretty sure I'm at Roy support. I won't be able to actually get there, even if I get rid of you, so... I think I might just... Yeah, this is the Roy room. I said this was going to be the Roy room, and it is going to be. Okay, no critical yet. But that's okay. 9 uses left. Maybe at this point I should stop playing around with Roy, especially considering he's going to be slightly left behind here. I like the defense. I always appreciate more attack and speed at this point in the game, but the defense is also good. Wendy is still safe. That throne is spamming some enemies. Outrunning the... you're never going to exhaust the reinforcements completely, so... Oh, great positioning. Absolutely great. I think this is the best kind of thing you can do with Sue. I should remember, because they tend to sometimes have a mana kit just at the opening of the place. It's cool how they can mix up so much the way you're supposed to deal with enemies, just by positioning them in a slightly different way. This is going to be Armas, and this is going to be just the Worm Slayer. Yeah, I want to be stingy with the Durandal. Seems to be very accurate. So is this going to be the Gonzalez room? Maybe. Not like I can do this for every unit, okay? Tate got her kill. Roy already did good. I would like to use everyone. Oh, there's a bit of critical there. There's a bit of critical. It's a 1%. You never know when a 1% is going to strike. So I should be careful. I can never risk the 1% if I can afford it. Of course, it's always better to bet on that than to bet on, for example, dodging the 78s, right? Yeah, actually no critical, and I can kill with the killer. So I'll take this with Gonzalez. It was the Gonzalez room, except for the boss. The boss can be... Okay, let me think about it. I'm going to give to Marcus here. Yeah, Marcus is going to be able to drop Roy wherever, and Roy can't do anything right now, so this is finally going to be the Sue kill. Sue is not going to have a room for herself because she can't actually tank anything and kill in the counter, right? I don't think she even has sea swords, so I can't go for a Worm Slayer angle. You see, this is what I hate. I just cut a square of movement. Yes, one square of movement for Wendy, so now the enemies are a bit closer, just a little bit, and if I keep doing that all the time, it's going to get dangerous. So please don't. Okay, we need to conquer this. Just remember. And then I sort of need to... What's in here? 40 attack. Looks like you don't get critted. 30... Yeah. I can take care of you even without using the elixir, and then I can use it on the next turn. That's only 23 damage, as I thought I needed 7 defense and I had 17, so... Good. The Worm Slayer isn't going to kill. Maybe Sue won't even need the Murgre to do 9. I do have a Brave Bow that could quad for 3 damage, or it could also be the silver. I quad for 6. I can use 2 uses of the Brave Bow here. I can go for 24 damage with a Brave Bow on a mana kit. That's quite a lot for a non-effective weapon. Yeah, I'd say that's quite a lot. Now I have Dick, who's very hurt, but actually doesn't mind because he has heals. Okay, when they close in a pretty important room, because there they spawn from like a slightly different place from the bottom. And I think those are more annoying to stop because they are just a bit closer to you. Marcus wouldn't even die to a crit. That's crazy. He can tank 3 mana kits. Probably not 3 bosses, but a boss and a mana kit he can tank. And here's 25. They don't miss a lot. And I won't be getting these 2% criticals. So I guess I just have to invest my resources in a smart way, right? I think this is the maximum disrespect card. Common Javelin. Don't want to use up any valuable things, so the Javelin with Marcus. That's enough. I'm actually going to take the throne just for the health recovery. Okay, this might be a Durandal. What's in there? Okay, they are normally pretty aggressive, so... Yeah, I want you to kill. I want to open that space. And then I take you there. You're going to rescue Roy. Merlinus might not be very useful anymore. I might want to go back with Marcus. Just take every elixir he's carrying. I'm glad I equipped the Durandal here and not the Worm Slayer, because taking the kill allows me to approach a little bit more. Just a little bit. Of course, this chapter is very fun to do with, like, you know, using up all the warps and all the rescues you have left in the convoy, but, well, yeah, this could be the far room, sort of. They are coming, and they don't appear from the bottom, they always appear from the throne. I don't know why I remember that wrong. Well, whatever. Here the counter might even double. Not sure, but it could. Yeah, it does double. I should have just checked the speed. Yeah, this is why having some speed on Fa can be very beneficial at this point. Okay, I can take care of the other guy with Fa too. We can do that, no problem. I just go here and have an elixir. So, who do you prefer, Fa or Roy? Actually curious. He prefers going for Roy. Interesting. I mean, I guess... No, I don't get why. They might prioritize Roy. Sometimes they have a bit of a Lord killing AI. I've talked about this at the beginning of the series, I think. It's more common in FE7. Or whatever. The important thing is that I had to do this because I dropped Roy close enough to be able to get to that Mam kit. Okay, that mana kit. Sorry for the old head expression. Yeah, I might even take that. Well, let's think about how I kill you. And you do this? Holy shit. Okay, this was the far kill. This was the far room. Absolutely was. And I didn't even know it. I mean, she's killed like 2 of the major guys in here, yeah? Okay, okay. I'm satisfied. That was a... Is that level 20? Yeah, that's level 20. Actually capped Fa with 18 speed. 18 speed is a lot. Most common mana kits have around 11. Some of the bosses have 15, some have 14. The ones that have 14 actually get doubled by Fa. That's insane. She doesn't have that much HP, so instead of using an elixir, I think it's better if we do this. Didn't make it to 40 HP, but I don't think it matters. And I'll just conquer. That's the optimal thing. Okay. Would be cool if in the next turn I could take that kill. And that's the last round, right? That's Jan. Yeah, that's Jan. The strongest of the bunch. 15 speed actually, so very close to getting doubled. I think he spawned with a low speed stat. Would be very appropriate as a Lilina kill, I think, because she doesn't get countered or anything. Lilina probably does amazing. But yeah, right now, priority here is to use a bit of Miorgre to clear this menace. Get Roy as close as possible. Potentially drop him, even. Yeah, I think dropping Roy is okay. Like, if I don't drop him, it's going to take 2 turns. If I drop him, it's going to take 2 turns. So might as well drop him and have more utility on Marcus. Okay. Starting to appear very close to me. Yeah, so Roy is a bit hurt, let's remember. And I don't have any elixirs close to me. Not even here. Elixir is actually on Merlinus, as stupid as that is. Okay, well. I forget something. Still have 7 uses of the Seal Sword. And you can consume the Seal Sword to get healed. You can consume it to get like 30 uses, 30 HP I mean. 1 use for 30 HP, so I go down to 6, but that's enough to counter you and to get the next chapter. Then I can deal with you too. I should have gone for that right now, but whatever. And I can definitely like get Lilina very close. Very close. Close enough to do it on the next turn. They keep coming. Doesn't matter anymore. I have enough health to survive here. It's going to take a bit for Roy to conquer, so I'll have to stall for a bit. But that's about it. He has no critical now? Maybe that's because... Well, he gets the critical. We saw the animation. 4 uses left, but that's just enough to do the next chapter. I wouldn't want to go with less than 4 uses. Maybe I should have... Well, no. I was going to say, maybe I should have kept the Hammern for this chapter. Absolutely not, because I had no Hammern user. Yeah, I think using it on the Durandal was good for me. And Roy isn't going to be able to do this anyway. Might as well attack. No, because I don't want to use it. Yeah. Might as well attack with this. That's good. 1000 years. My strength has long recovered. I can feel it. Great theme. A shame you don't hear it that much. 22 is enough for Lilina to do it. I didn't think it was going to hit both of the 58s. Lilina should be a bit more accurate. With the 4 blades, it's 64. It's not crazy, but she could have just playing 1 round left. Okay, so I guess we go for that, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, Lina. Rain, fire. Fighting fire with fire. I have lost. Humans are truly unpredictable. Bro, you lost in like 2 turns. Well, in 1 turn, like in 2 rounds. Not the best level, but that's okay. That's okay. You can get more luck from the 4 blaze. Didn't get to cap her. What a shame. Okay, we can conquer on the next turn. The only thing I need to do right now, very quickly, is to make sure I don't get killed. All right, that works. They keep appearing, but they can't do anything. It has been sealed. I could heal my highest experience unit, because I think if you heal someone with high experience, they give you more experience. I heal Marcus. If this doesn't get me... Yeah, I tried. Conquer. In the next chamber lies the Dark Dragon. That's true. That's true. Okay. So getting Roy there is going to require some support from my other characters. I actually think... Oof. Okay, we ran a bit too low on uses there. Actually, like, very low. I mean, Malte Marcus should yes about clear everything in here. Yeah, shame I don't have a dancer. Actually, do you reach? Oh, you do reach. Okay, then it's going to be... I don't like the 3% critical at all. I can actually make it a bit safer by attacking first with the Miurger. Miurger breaks on this guy, and Armads goes on this guy just after. And then Marcus takes care of the other with the Malte, and I simply approach with Roy. Roy is getting his full support potential, so there's going to be no missing. There's probably going to be some critical too. I like the idea. Okay, I mean, if you miss an 83 and get hit by a 3% crit, yeah, that's what I thought. Gonzalez isn't going to die. I skipped the starting chapter quotes, but I'm going to tell you something very funny. Merlinus doesn't have one. That's something I found like a long time ago. I think actually the first time I beat FE6, I brought Merlinus. I was playing along with, like, together with a friend. And we had this recurring joke about Merlinus being the actual most evil person in this game. It was very funny. It's hard to explain, but it was very funny, believe me. So... Okay, what's your constitution exactly? 8. What's your 8? 10. Hmm... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I think without Wendy we would have gone a bit further, but that's close enough. Yeah, that's close enough. Also have Fa, we have Dick, and we have Merlinus. Yeah, so you can imagine when Merlinus suddenly didn't say anything at all during the final chapter, we were like falling. Like, we laughed so much it actually hurt. Okay, I can do 80. I can do 40, sorry. Doesn't have enough movement to reach Marcus after this, so I can give you a heal. They can come from the sides. I just need to block the sides. Right? I don't want them to kill Lilina here at the end, so obviously this is the right thing to do, right? Yeah. That works. That works. Then I can come with Roy. He will at least have the support from Marcus, which means a bit of critical. That a small chance of killing Idun right now. And then Marcus doesn't get killed by Manakit even if he were to appear right now. From that side. I'm going to block this. Just in case. Actually, might be better if I use rescue and drop. Because then I can get her a little bit closer and Roy support. Alright. There we go. That a critical? Yes. It's fucking over. It's all in the supports, guy. It's all in the supports. I said it in Los in Sakai and I say it again. Supports are fucking broken. There's a reason why, they take so much to build. Alone in Darkness. Don't worry. Don't worry. Actually, we did this the right way, so we are supposed to get the good ending after this. Perfect. And that finishes with a save clear on the first one. I lost my saves for the previous runs. Don't mind that. Okay. So this is unskippable. This is unskippable. But that simple act means we got to the good ending because Roy is preoccupied with Idun and is actually trying to get her out of there. I guess it's time to do a bit of a closing statement here and talk about this series and what I thought of it. I think this series was great. Modesty aside, I think this has been one of my best series, and it's funny because I kind of stumbled on this idea like almost by coincidence. Most of my series start because I have two main motivations to play Fire Emblem, basically. One is playing new Fire Emblem games that I haven't, actually played before, I don't know anything about, or I don't know a lot about. And another one is when I'm playing a game I already know, I like to try different units. And I like to show off sometimes the units that I know are good and, make a bit of a balance between the two. Normally my final team in a game I already know of consists of 50% units I'm very comfortable with and 50% units I don't know anything about. In fact, I would say that about this final army. And about the final army in FE7, not so much because it's a more recent game for me. Another very important thing for me to play a Fire Emblem game, to replay a Fire Emblem game, is just finding an excuse. Finding something interesting to do, like a challenge run, a particular unit, a particular condition. Mostly a challenge run. And Ironmans are great, but I didn't feel like I was prepared to do an FE6 Ironman. An FE7 Ironman, sorry. Because the original idea for this series was to just be FE7. Okay? I have played Eliwood normal. I have played Hector normal. And I wanted to get to Hector Hard because I know Hector Hard is the highest difficulty, the most interesting to do, and the one I seem to see everyone want to replay and replay again and again. And I actually heard some pretty bad things about Eliwood Hard, like maybe it's a bit easier than Hector normal. I actually wouldn't agree. Maybe it's a bit more boring because it doesn't have the extra content that the actor path has. That I would agree with. And I just needed to find an excuse and get myself motivated to play FE7 again and to play a little hard. And I thought about different ideas, like making a bit of a story-oriented Let's Play, sort of like a lore play where, I focus a lot on the story, I do the dialogue for all the characters. I was going to call it Fire Emblem the Animation. And while I was thinking about it, I figured that, it could be a good idea to also have a second season of Fire Emblem the Animation. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that there's a constant in both games. A character that is there from the beginning of Elwood Hearth and stays there to the very end of FE6. And that's Marcus. And the more I thought about it, the more the idea deviated from it, from the main character being... Okay, I have to stop here because obviously we have to pay attention to one of the greatest lines in Fire Emblem, period. A warm breeze. Where was I? Yeah, the more I thought about it, the more the story deviated from Eliwood, Hector, Lyn, the original idea of having them paired together with sort of canonical pairings and getting their children and sort of continuing their legacy. And it focused more on Marcus because I thought, Marcus is the perfect protagonist for any story and any storyline centered in a leaf. He's the guy that goes through all of it. He's the guy that actually is deployable in every chapter. He's the only character that is deployable in every chapter. And so I finally ended up with this idea. Doing this sort of... I didn't want to do a solo run. I think a solo run in FE7 would have been very doable. And I think in FE6 it would have been hell. And I know solo runs are doable in any Fire Emblem with any unit. And I'm not even exaggerating. Any Fire Emblem, any unit. AI manipulation is a thing. I've actually seen a video of someone beating the entirety of FE6 just with World. Okay. If you can beat FE6 with World, then you can beat FE6 with Marcus. I didn't need to prove to myself that Marcus was good enough to do that. I just needed to have fun. Playing FE7 in a new mode, playing FE6 again, because any excuse is good, and building a new army, trying out some new units, and I've had a lot of fun. Okay, the biggest amount of... First of all, the first unit to appear, which is already pretty great, and 608 battles. That might be the highest amount of battles. 163 wins. I think Dick might have ended up with more battles, because Dick was insane in this run. He was insane. But yeah, I'm glad that Marcus was the first one to appear, just to make sure you understand. This is Marcus Emblem. Yeah, just had so much fun. I've done some other challenge runs before. Some Ironmans. No. The wins are higher, but the battles are lower, which I think fits Marcus very well, because Marcus didn't take that many kills at the beginning of the game. I think at the beginning of the game, Marcus is supposed to do exactly what you normally do with him, which is just setting up kills for growth units. The funny thing with Marcus in this run, like in FE7, he was very powerful, and I just threw him in the middle of everything and killed everything. And it felt like using a trained up unit, and I just, that didn't require training. In FE6, it wasn't actually that different from how I normally would use Marcus. The only difference was that instead of benching him, I just kept using him. Instead of allowing him to die, I just kept pushing and giving him resources and stat boosters to get him to the endgame. And I think that Marcus, without those stat boosters, would have a pretty bad endgame. I still think that if I've proven anything is that there are certain aspects about Marcus that can never be removed and that are just superior to units like Wendy. Wendy, you can give her all the attention you want, but you know, even if you give her 3 pairs of boots to get her to like 11 movement and say, okay, she's clearly my highest movement unit ever, even then she doesn't have counter, guys. She doesn't have counter. Like, her rescue drop utility is still going to be worse than Marcus. Marcus is just absolutely bonkers with the rescue drop. Wendy chose to live her life as an armor knight. Her actions gave courage to many. She's remembered as the first female captain of the Ostia Guard. Okay, I mean, that's cool. I did like using Wendy. Like, I did like using some more trainee type units. It's incredible how Raph is widely considered to be one of the best units in FE7, and he didn't turn out that well. Meanwhile, Sue is widely considered to be clearly inferior to Shin. And I'd say Sue was more important in this run than Shin was. Well, maybe don't let me talk, because the FE6 Survivor was also hell, and Shin was very valuable in there. Yeah, I've done Iron Man's. I did the FE6 Survivor, a run I absolutely recommend if you like FE6. It's a run I sort of invented myself. I might have to do a video about it so that the idea doesn't get stolen, where every chapter I basically have a roulette with every name of every character I have recruited up to that point, and the one that it falls on, I kill off. With certain exceptions, like for example, Roy couldn't get killed, and some characters that give me the good ending, instead of getting killed, they just get benched. And that was very fun. That was very fun. So if you're interested in more FE6 runs, I recommend that one. Yes, a small recommendation from me. Engage Maddening was also very fun, and Awakening Lunatic was a bit hellish, but still enjoyable. And I don't think any of them gave me such a high or had me so motivated to just keep playing and playing and playing as this game did. You know, FE7, FE6, 2 games, a series of 2 games that actually got to a very short amount of episodes, because we're finishing on 21 parts. And yeah, it's just incredible how interesting a game can get if you just set the right amount of requirements for you to enjoy it. And at the very beginning, I wasn't sure. At the very beginning of FE7, I felt like I was giving too much experience to Marcus. I felt like maybe Marcus was going to make the game uninteresting. And after a while, he started falling off a little bit, and then I strangely felt a little bit better about giving him so much attention. Because if he was able to fall off, then anyone was. And knowing that FE6 was coming, and in FE6 the fall off effect was going to be like obviously harder, just made me excited. I was excited from the very beginning to the very end of FE6, and during most of the, like, I'd say the second half of FE7 also had me very excited. I had my doubts when starting this series, but I'm very glad I did. Also got like a pretty warm reception. I'm not the biggest channel in the world, not the biggest Fire Emblem channel in the world, unfortunately. Your loss. But I'd say for my for my normal amount of views and my normal amount of, I feel like, continued support, this one was very good. So it made me feel like everyone really appreciated it, that chapter 15 with 99 turns. Chapter 19 with 105 turns, what's that? Oh, the battle in Bulgar. Oh shit, okay. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I might be deluding myself, but I felt like you all really enjoyed it too. Tactics on C, survival on B, experience on D, weapon on D, time on C, and fans on C. Overall, well, could have been done better. Obviously, experience was going to be bad if feeding a lot of kills to Marcus on the early. Yeah, I felt like you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. And well, just let me know if you did. As always, as I say, consider liking, subscribing, or leaving a comment, or any one of those three, together. Next series, I always have a main Fire Emblem Let's Play running. Currently it's Radiant Dawn. It has been Radiant Dawn for a while. Radiant Dawn is apparently a very long game. Actually playing it just after Mystery of the Emblem might have been a mistake, because Mystery of the Emblem was also a very long game. So I've been running like 2 games for most of the year, but it's currently Radiant Dawn, and then it's going to be another Let's Play, then another Let's Play. On the other hand, on this time slot, I have a Fire Emblem challenge alternating with a Nuzlocke. So if you are only interested in Fire Emblem challenges, that might not be your thing. If you are curious about how a Nuzlocke goes, I'm actually going to play one of my favorites, which is Pokemon White. So look forward to that. And yeah, with that said, hope you enjoyed. This has been Pomon, and I'll see you in my next series. Bye!